Well, it's semifinals weekend. Of course, this coverage is brought to you by Alienware. I'm joined right now by Meteos to talk about the first day of semifinals, which just wrapped up. Cloud9 beating CLG 3-1. So first off, what did you think of the series?
I thought it was a good series. It looked like C9 was just going to take it quick 3-0, but then it got interesting when they started throwing the hell out of game three. They actually threw it so hard they lost, and then it almost looked like they were about to get reverse swept again because pretty sure they're all getting flashbacks to last season where they were 2-0 up against TSM and then just threw it hard. So it was actually looking pretty scary there for a second. I thought they were going to lose game four. Like they kind of had to outplay that one pretty hard, but it was definitely fun to watch, and I'm glad C9 won.
You were rooting for C9.
Of course.
Well, so I'm glad that you said it was going well until C9 started throwing, because a lot of people were like, "Oh man, CLG rallying," and like that was Dash's, like, as the analyst came back, Dash was like, "Whoa, CLG," and I was just sitting there like, the fuck, like people were just dying randomly. That's what gave them the opening, right?
Yeah, it seems like C9 is the aggressive team. They're pretty momentum based, and so sometimes if you get too ahead, you just start going crazy and like throwing it out the window. So we got to see some of that for sure.
What did you think of CLG this series? Because in the first two, they didn't look that impressive. I don't know if you want to give them any credit or if how much of that is just like C9 throwing.
Well, I think they played fairly decently. I think that the Corki Azir bans probably caught them off guard a bit because I think those are champions that they were probably expecting to get, or even just being part of the trade. You know, like, all right, you take Azir, I'll take Corki. That's a nice smile you got there. Oh.
Yeah, Mark Z is. If we could get the camera to pan over in that direction, I don't know if it's going to show through the window or anything, but he's having a good time.
Fully putting his mouth on that window.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Right.
Yeah, not a big fan. Either way, sorry. Continue. The Corki Azir, I believe,
so,
as you were
so I
saying.
think those bans kind of caught CLG off guard, and they're having to play a little bit outside their comfort zone because they don't have these hyper scaling champs to fall back on. So you saw in games 1 and 2, they picked Tom Kench, which Tom Kench is really good if you have teammates that just need a little bit extra protection. But if you saw their game 1 draft, it seemed like they just took all champions that's just like not going to lose lane, but also aren't really going to win lane. It's like Tom Kench, Karma, GP, that kind of stuff. So I think that CLG had a really slow start to the series. But overall, they didn't really play bad. I thought 6A played really well. PoE was finding a lot of good plays. And it just wasn't enough.
Well, so you did the analyst test this weekend. Are you coming back tomorrow?
I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I was just here for this one.
Do you enjoy doing this stuff? Or, because you've done this a couple times now.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun for me. I've always just been a huge fan of the game in general. So, I'm always down to come in and talk about it. It's a fun time coming to the desk, just getting to talk to people about the game and then going on broadcast, talking about it more. So I enjoy it.
What are you up to now since the year is kind of wrapped for you?
It's a good question. Super long off season. Kind of bummed we aren't even getting to get to compete for Worlds, but that's how it is sometimes. So I've been getting back into streaming a little bit, something that I like doing on the side. I don't know if I'd be able to do it like full time during the off season because I find it really draining. So I'm gonna do a little bit of that. Probably just keep practicing a lot because there's next year, and obviously I just want to keep trying to get better. So I think a lot of League, some streaming, and then obviously other stuff like probably go see my family, maybe travel a bit. Yeah. Not sure yet.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know how often you guys stay in LA or how much you stay in LA versus, going off someplace else.
I usually stay in LA because I grew up on the East Coast, like in Virginia, and then both of my parents have since moved away from the house that I grew up in, so I don't really have like that going back home sort of thing that a lot of people do. So, yeah, I just kind of stay around here.
All right, well, are you going to play any TFT while you're on this break?
I've been playing TFT every now and then. Like, if I'm eating food and I don't feel like watching a show, I'll play like TFT. Yeah. But I haven't played ranked, and I don't know if I want to get into it because I don't feel like my gameplay experience would actually change from playing ranked, except that I would be more tilted when I lose. Yeah. I don't feel like I'm going to feel better winning, and I don't need to, get an elo to brag about. I
want to keep it casual.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying the game, man.
That's a good answer. I should do that. Instead, I'm desperately trying to get Diamond. Is there anything that you want to say to any of the Meteos fans out there?
Well, thank you for being Meteos fans, and watch my stream, please.
Thanks so much for watching. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here. Hey, thanks so much for watching my content. I really appreciate it. I am back from China, and I had such a good time. Brodin had maybe too good of a time. I don't really want to get into that. That's his business. I'm not going to talk about it. But I do want to shout out Alienware and Intel for sponsoring our trip over there. We've got some great content coming out from them over the next month and a half before Worlds. We're going to be showing you all sorts of cool stuff from the LPL, from China. It's a whole nother world over there in terms of League of Legends esports. It's honestly, like, I hope LCS at some point in time gets to that level. And we've got some great interviews and some cool stuff. Just please do me a favor and check it out when it hits the channel. I think even if you're not normally interested in the LPL, you might be really surprised by what you see. Again, thanks so much to Alienware and Intel for sponsoring that coverage.